Hey, stop scrolling for a second. What if I told you that all your hard work in the gym or in your diet could be going unnoticed just because you're not tracking it the right way? In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the simple secrets to see real results, stay motivated, and actually measure your fitness progress like a pro. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Tracking your fitness progress is honestly like giving yourself a roadmap for your entire journey. And the thing that most people don't realize is that without it, you're basically navigating in the dark. You show up at the gym, you do your workouts, you push yourself on cardio, you eat your meals, and you follow your routine as best as you can. But unless you're keeping track of it, it's almost impossible to know whether you're actually improving. Think about it. Your body doesn't always give obvious signs right away. Some changes happen so gradually that you might be making incredible progress without even noticing it. And other times, you might feel like you're putting in maximum effort and wonder why results aren't showing. This is where tracking comes in. It's not just about writing down numbers for the sake of it. It's about having a clear visual of your journey and proof that what you're doing matters. When you log your workouts, your reps, your weights, or even your running times, you start creating a record that tells a story about your progress over weeks and months. You begin to see patterns you would otherwise miss, like the fact that you can lift heavier than last month, or that you can run longer distances without feeling exhausted. Without this kind of documentation, it's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking nothing is happening, even when it actually is. And there's also a psychological benefit to this. When you look back at your recorded progress and see the numbers climb or the photos change, it gives you a tangible sense of accomplishment. It keeps you motivated on the days when your energy is low or when you're tempted to skip a workout, because you can literally see that all your hard work is adding up. Tracking is a way of holding yourself accountable too. You know that if you've committed to writing down your sets, reps, or times, you're less likely to half-ass your workout because the data will show it. It turns your effort into measurable results, and there's something incredibly powerful about seeing evidence of your own growth. And this doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a fancy app or expensive equipment. A simple notebook, a spreadsheet, or even a dedicated fitness journal works just fine, as long as you're consistent. Consistency is key. The magic happens when you have weeks and months of data to look back on, because suddenly your journey becomes undeniable. It's no longer a guessing game. You can see exactly where you started, how far you've come, and what still needs improvement. It's like shining a light on a path that might otherwise feel invisible. You also get to make smarter decisions because you're not just relying on how you feel day to day. You have concrete numbers and patterns to guide adjustments in your training or nutrition. This way, you can pinpoint what's working and what isn't, tweak your approach, and continue progressing efficiently. Tracking progress turns fitness from something abstract into something tangible, measurable, and motivating. And once you start doing it, it becomes hard to imagine going back to a routine where you're relying only on guesswork and hope.
When it comes to tracking your fitness progress, one of the most effective ways to see real change is by focusing on strength, visuals, and numbers, because these are tangible markers that your body is actually adapting and improving over time. The scale can be helpful sometimes, but it often lies, or at least doesn't tell the full story. You could be gaining muscle while losing fat, and your weight might barely move at all, which can be incredibly frustrating if that's the only thing you're watching. That's why logging your workouts, your reps, your sets, and the weights you're lifting is so important. Every time you track a lift or a movement, you're creating a record of measurable growth. Even small increases in weight or extra reps are proof that your muscles are getting stronger, your endurance is improving, and your body is responding to the training stimulus. Strength tracking also allows you to notice patterns in your performance. You can see which exercises you're excelling at, which ones might need more focus, and how your body adapts to different training styles over weeks and months. It's more than just numbers on a page. It's a feedback loop that informs your training decisions and ensures that you're moving forward rather than plateauing without realizing it. Alongside strength, visual tracking is another critical component that many people overlook. Progress photos are powerful because your eyes get used to your body day by day, making it easy to miss subtle changes that are actually huge over time. When you take pictures consistently under the same lighting and poses, you start to see changes in muscle definition, posture, and overall physique that you might not notice in the mirror every morning. These visual cues can be incredibly motivating and make the journey feel real and rewarding. Measurements are equally important. Tracking your waist, hips, arms, chest, and legs gives a clear, quantifiable snapshot of how your body composition is shifting. You might notice inches dropping from your waist or arms growing from added muscle, and those numbers don't lie. Combining strength data, visual evidence, and body measurements gives you a holistic understanding of your progress. It shows that fitness isn't just about what the scale says. It's about how strong you are, how your body looks, and how your shape is evolving. This multidimensional approach also keeps motivation high. On days when you feel like you're not seeing change, the numbers and photos will tell a different story, reminding you that your efforts are producing real results. And tracking in this way also allows for better planning. You can adjust workouts, increase weights, or shift focus to certain muscle groups based on measurable data rather than guesswork. It turns your fitness journey into something precise, actionable, and incredibly rewarding. When you combine strength gains with visual proof and measurements, you build a system that holds you accountable, boosts confidence, and makes progress undeniable. And once you start seeing these combined results, it changes the way you approach workouts, nutrition, and your overall mindset about fitness, giving you the clarity and motivation to continue pushing forward and striving for even better results.
Using tools to track your fitness progress is one of the smartest ways to turn your effort into results. Because while showing up and working hard is important, without organization and insight, a lot of that effort can get lost or go unnoticed. Fitness apps, journals, and spreadsheets aren't just for tech enthusiasts or data nerds. They're practical tools that give you a clear picture of how your body is responding, what's working, and what might need adjustment. Think about it. If you're lifting weights, running, or following a nutrition plan, there are countless variables that affect your progress, from sleep and stress levels to calorie intake and workout intensity. Trying to remember all of that in your head is nearly impossible, and even if you do, it's easy to overlook patterns or small improvements that add up over time. That's where technology, or even a simple journal, comes in. By logging your workouts, you can see trends in strength gains, endurance, and energy levels. For instance, maybe you notice that your running times improve when you run in the morning versus the evening, or that your lifts are stronger on days following good sleep and proper nutrition. That kind of insight is invaluable because it allows you to fine-tune your routine for maximum efficiency. Beyond workouts, tracking apps can help with nutrition and calories, showing you how your diet aligns with your goals. You can log meals, track macros, and see where you might be over or under consuming, which is something that can completely change your results if you're consistent. Spreadsheets or journals serve the same purpose, but in a more hands-on way. Writing down every rep, set, and meal creates a tangible record that you can analyze over weeks and months. It gives you perspective because you can look back and see exactly how far you've come. One of the biggest advantages of these tools is that they provide accountability. When you know you're going to log a workout, a meal, or a measurement, you're more likely to stick to it because you can't hide from the data. This alone can dramatically improve consistency, which is the single most important factor in any fitness journey. These tools also make it easier to spot plateaus or areas that need improvement. If your numbers haven't changed in weeks or if your photos show no visible difference, that's a clear signal to adjust your training, recovery, or nutrition. Without tracking, you might continue doing the same thing without realizing it's no longer effective. And the beauty of it is that you can customize these tools to fit your goals and lifestyle. You don't need every single metric at first. You can start small with a few key measurements, and as tracking becomes a habit, add more details to get a complete picture. Over time, using these tools not only helps you improve physically, but it also trains you to understand your body better, recognize patterns in performance, and make decisions that are data-driven, rather than based solely on feeling or guesswork. Consistently using apps, journals, or spreadsheets transforms your fitness journey from something vague and uncertain into a precise, measurable, and motivating process. And once you start seeing the patterns and the progress, it becomes addictive because the feedback you get shows you exactly what your effort is producing, which is incredibly empowering and keeps you coming back for more. Setting realistic, measurable goals is one of the most important aspects of tracking fitness progress, because without clear targets, it's easy to work hard every day and feel like you're not moving forward. Fitness isn't just about showing up, it's about knowing what you want to achieve and having a way to measure it. Vague statements like, "I want to get fit" or "I want to lose weight" might sound motivating at first, but when it comes time to track progress, they leave you with nothing concrete to compare. Setting specific, measurable goals changes everything because suddenly, every workout, every meal, and every healthy choice has purpose. If your goal is to increase your bench press by 20 pounds in 8 weeks, you have a clear benchmark.
You can log your reps and weights, see incremental improvements each week, and feel a sense of accomplishment as you get closer to that target. The same goes for body composition goals, like losing a certain number of pounds of body fat or reducing your waist measurement. When you have a defined endpoint, your progress becomes undeniable. Goals also help you make smarter decisions in the moment. When you're tracking, you'll notice patterns that show what's helping you get closer to your goals and what's holding you back. Maybe your morning workouts are more productive than your evening ones, or you perform better when your meals are prepared in advance rather than eaten on the go. By comparing your daily actions to your specific goals, you can adjust your routine and make informed choices rather than guessing or relying on motivation alone. Another reason measurable goals are so powerful is that they create motivation even when things feel slow. Fitness is a long-term journey, and progress can sometimes feel invisible because it happens gradually. Without a goal to measure against, you might feel frustrated and tempted to give up. But when you have a target, every small improvement becomes meaningful. Even hitting a mini milestone along the way, like adding 5 pounds to a lift or shaving 30 seconds off a running time, reinforces that your effort is producing results. Goals also allow you to celebrate wins consistently, which is essential for long-term consistency. They keep you accountable because you're not just tracking random numbers, you're tracking the numbers that actually matter for what you're trying to achieve. And it's not just about physical measurements or strength numbers. Performance-based goals, endurance goals, or even lifestyle goals like drinking more water or improving sleep consistency can all be tracked and measured to see progress. By setting clear, realistic goals, you also prevent burnout and frustration. Unrealistic expectations can lead to disappointment and quitting, whereas measurable, achievable targets give you a roadmap that's challenging but attainable. Over time, as you hit your goals and see the progress reflected in your tracking, it builds confidence, reinforces positive habits, and strengthens your commitment to your fitness journey. The key is consistency in tracking, analyzing, and adjusting, because goals are only as effective as the effort and observation you put into them. They turn abstract ideas into concrete milestones, create a sense of purpose for every workout, and provide the clarity and motivation needed to push through plateaus, stay disciplined, and keep moving forward. And once you adopt this mindset of setting specific, measurable targets, tracking your fitness becomes not just a routine, but a system for achieving real, meaningful, and sustainable results. Mindset and consistency are the backbone of tracking fitness progress. And the truth is that even the best plans, workouts, or diets won't work if your mind isn't in the right place, or if you're not consistent with recording your progress. Fitness is as much mental as it is physical, and tracking progress gives you a clear way to reinforce both aspects at the same time. When you commit to logging your workouts, your measurements, or even your energy levels, you're creating a habit of accountability. This accountability isn't about pressure or guilt. It's about showing up for yourself and recognizing that every action has a measurable impact. On days when motivation is low, which we all experience, having consistent tracking data can push you to keep going because you can see the results of past effort and know that skipping a workout or neglecting a meal will interrupt a positive trend you've been building. Consistency in tracking is what turns small actions into long-term results. Fitness isn't achieved overnight. It's the accumulation of repeated efforts over weeks, months, and years. Without consistent tracking, it's easy to lose sight of progress or underestimate the impact of your actions. The mental benefit of seeing consistent progress, even small improvements, is massive. Every extra rep you complete, every pound you lift, every measurement that improves reinforces the fact that you are capable of change, growth, and improvement. It builds confidence, and confidence fuels consistency, which then fuels more progress. It's a cycle that compounds over time, and tracking is the engine that drives it. Another critical aspect is mindset around setbacks. Fitness isn't a straight line, and progress often comes with plateaus or temporary regressions. Tracking your progress helps you see the bigger picture rather than getting discouraged by day-to-day fluctuations. For example, the scale might stay the same for a week, but your strength or endurance is improving, or your measurements are changing in positive ways. Consistent tracking trains your mind to recognize progress beyond the obvious numbers, which keeps you mentally resilient and focused on the long-term goal. Mindset also influences how you interpret data. If you approach tracking with a positive, solution-focused mindset, every number, photo, or measurement becomes feedback, not judgment. This allows you to adjust intelligently rather than feeling defeated. Consistency in recording these metrics creates patterns that you can analyze and learn from, and over time, you develop a heightened awareness of your body, energy levels, and how different habits affect your results. Tracking isn't just about discipline, it's about reinforcing a mindset that every small action matters, and that progress, no matter how gradual, is real. When mindset and consistency work together, tracking becomes more than a tool. It becomes a habit that transforms your fitness journey. It gives you clarity, motivation, and proof that your effort produces results. You learn to value persistence over perfection, to celebrate small wins, and to trust the process, which is the ultimate key to achieving sustainable fitness success and turning your goals into reality.